What you doing?
I'm holding a brand new soap mold that should have been mailed 2 weeks ago.
It should not. It was supposed to be mailed yesterday.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
These
9.
girls are making soap.
Oh yeah, there we go. 8, 9, 10.
Is that on?
It's on, Daddy. Here,
Well,
I'll show you how you tell. You flip that little thing, and there's this little red button right there, and it's going record.
Well, anyway,
Record.
move you crazy today.
And if we want to make a scary movie, we go.
Well, that's for Halloween.
It's almost Halloween, guys.
Okay, I make soap molds
Uh-huh.
for Kim for people.
You make them for people, and Kim helps you sell them.
Yeah, and they fold out. This,
Yeah. We got
I've got
that
it
one taped up.
Yeah, I've
And-
got mine
and-
taped up to
And
where-
Kimberly's here is dirty, and I use these poly mailers to cover mine and everything. And mine is, this one's not made as good as yours, because mine just has one hinge in the center. So see, it goes wiggledy wobbledy, but it still works.
It does work.
But Daddy, he couldn't sell nothing as inferior as that product would be. So he makes them with 2 hinges so they don't. But in any case,
Mine on me.
and look, I just made these little flimsy boards. Look at that fancy board you're selling. Come on, pull it out there. Look at that.
That is for if you want to make
Smaller
just
batches.
small batches.
You know, you can calculate, you can figure, you can use that Soap in 101 lady's math that she's got on there. She's got a thing, how to figure it. You can plot and you can plan, but with hot process soap, how hard you cook it, how long you cook it, how much moisture you take out of it determines, in my opinion, how much room it's going to take in the mold. So if you lightly cook one and you don't cook it long enough, it's got more water in it, so therefore it's going to be bigger. If you cook it just right, well then it's going to may possibly be just right with this math. And Soap in 101 lady's very smart about this stuff, don't get me wrong. It's just she does cold process, so it doesn't affect the heat, and the cooking time doesn't affect how much soap goes in the mold. But if you overcook one, what are you doing? You're taking more water out, so therefore it'll be smaller. So it's hard to do math for hot process. So what did we do to solve that problem? Ta-da, 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 ta-da. So you don't have to worry about how much soap you got, because if you don't feel it but to right here and you're like, oh gosh, look, I have less soap. You just put this right here, and ta-da! You just fill it to right there. I'm hogging the camera, Daddy. I'm showing them how awesome this mold system is.
Well, I wanted to say that I do this out of spruce, and of course it's 3/4 of an inch, and I have to work all the sides and the ends and all
And he
except the
sands
bottom
it.
down to 1/2 inch, where it's 2.5 inside.
And it holds 22 1-inch bars. And but when you're ready for it to open, it just opens, and then the soap comes out with this piece, and then you just peel that piece off. And of course mine are not well as made as Daddy's. Isn't that right, Daddy?
Well, I guess not.
They're not. See, they're wiggledy woggledy. and I use a bungee cord. A 48-inch bungee cord is just perfect for holding them together, and they just fit right around it. There you go. Pull and snap, and that holds it together, and then it's easy to release when you're ready to let it out. But Daddy's got his taped at the moment because it's getting ready to be packaged and shipped to this really nice guy who ordered it. Well, it was in a man's name, if I remember correctly. And so we're going to ship that off, ain't we?
And how much do you sell those for?
He don't know. How much are they, Dad? Do you know?
$59.99.
There you go. I
That's
didn't
that
know.
size. Now we have a smaller size that holds 12 bars.
Yes, that's right. And the most expensive thing on all this is what, Daddy?
Well, the lumber and the hinges.
No, it's the hinges, Daddy.
Yeah, well, that's true. But the
And-
lumber costs.
But when you make the smaller one, you still have to put 2 hinges on
Right.
it.
I put
So
2 hinges.
the smaller one is not a whole lot cheaper. And that's because really we're just we're just not using a little bit of wood, but we're still having to use the same amount of hinges. And he buys the hinges at Lowe's, and they're costly. And so that makes the second bar. Do you remember how much the smaller bar is? I mean, smaller mold is?
Seems like it's 49.
Yeah, see, it's not a whole lot cheaper because the main cost is really in those hinges.
But I really like how you open those and they just fall apart, unfold.
Yeah.
And it's so much easier to get the soap out than
I know.
having to pull the sides and the
Yeah, I
and
love
dump
it.
even and
Yeah, and I'll go get a bar of soap that these make. I think I will.
256845565.
Oh, you're getting a phone call, Daddy.
Yes, it's
Okay, you go talk to Mama. He'll bring you back. Mama's getting her hair colored. Okay, Daddy. This is a bar of my number 11, and my mold that I use. I know the one that I use is just a touch wider than this one. It was one that I made the very first time I was making them myself, and then I realized this one here is just slightly wider, and it's just a fraction.
16.
Just a fraction. I made them just a touch bigger to hold soap that I put oats in, and I used them this time for number 11. But anyway, it makes a tall, skinny bar that's just perfect for washing with, and everything. So now, where do they go to buy these?
my website.
No, it's my website.
It's
Dad.
your website.
It's
not
your
mine.
page. That's right.
My page, yeah.
That's right, on your page. And you can find his page on www.essential-soaps.com. That's www.essential, ESSENTIAL, dash, like what you put in the phone number, soaps, SOAPS.com. You can also find a link to purchase his molds on www.kimberlymcnutt.com. KIMBERLYMCNUTT. No dash in the middle. Woo! I'm so glad I got that name
You
before
can
it got
spell
gone.
essential. That's great.
ESSENTIAL. Hey, Daddy,
Okay.
it's time for the horror movie again. Okay.
That's
All right, now are you going to go pick up Mama from the thing? Okay.
Bye-bye.
So now on his molds, there's just one more thing we gotta tell him.
what?
We charge $20 for the big one on shipping, and then we never know how much it's gonna cost. Every once in a while, if they live in California, it takes all of it or nearly all of it. But the people, and what we do is whenever we purchase the shipping, we just immediately refund whatever extra it is. We haven't found any system to just charge a flat rate, so that would be affordable. I mean, because if you live in Kentucky, it might take $9, but if you live in Oregon, it might take 18. And we just don't want to charge everybody $20 and keep the shipping money. That just didn't seem fair.
No.
So what we do is we charge you $20, and then whenever we buy the shipping, we weigh it, and these molds fluctuate according to the weight of the wood. And we weigh it after it's all packaged up, and then we return to you the extra shipping through PayPal. We just hit the refund button, refund however much it is, and send it back to you. So you will get any extra money back on the shipping. And if you want to purchase several of the molds, you still have to purchase each one individual, but you do have a section there where you can purchase it without shipping cost. And then we'll box them all up together, and I'll send you another invoice for shipping when they're all made. Okay? Okay. All right, go get Mama, and you're going to bring her by here and let us see how pretty her hair color
Well, if
is.
she wants to.
All
She
right.
may be hiding, you know.
She might be
She
hiding.
might be in hiding. They could have did it purple, you never know.
Oh, it won't be purple, Daddy.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Daddy. Love you. All right, set that over there. Now we're going to finally start making soap. All right. So, where's my goggles? There's my goggles. The most important thing is wear your goggles. And she's learning this new for the first time. So I thought it would be a good thing for y'all to learn as well. And I think if you're first time soaping, that you should always wear your goggles and your gloves, and the goggles is to keep it out of your eyes. Because if you get it in your eye, you'll have to turn off your crock pot and go to the
Emergency room.
and get them to neutralize the light in your eyeballs so you don't go blind. And then what will happen to your soap?
It's ruined.
It's totally ruined. I mean, and who wants to fool with something like that? I mean, we can't afford to waste good oil
No way.
just so we can go to the hospital to save our eyes. Anyway, see, us soapers, we think about things different than the mortal man. And it's like, no, that would ruin my soap. So anyway, so you always wear your goggles and your gloves. And I've not always been the best girl about wearing my gloves. I've been making soap for so long that I've got it down to a system of safety.
Right.
They're going to really hate me for that, aren't they? But what's my system of safety? Do you know?
I have no idea.
I'm going to teach you. So that's what we're doing today. We're teaching somebody that had never done it before. Isn't that cool? So see, I've got these little pop tops, so that's pretty safe. I buy these big old tall pitchers, and they got these handles that your gloved hands won't get stuck in. You got plenty of room, nothing all tight and little that your glove might get stuck, and like you sit it down and then you pull your hand back and your glove don't come out, and then it flips over. And so and then it's a tall container and the lye water for a double batch. That's all you take, way down here. So I can just whiz with the not the stick blender now, with the wire metal whisk. I can just whisk the tar out of that, and it's really hard for it to splash out on me because it's so tall. And this plastic's a good heavy plastic, so it won't melt because of the heat of the lye and everything. So that's a good safe system. And then the other safe system is we don't use oil. We don't let these holes, and I'll bring this over there to you because I done plugged it up. We don't let these holes stick out when we're stick blending. We always keep that submerged because this little blade's flying around and it'll shoot stuff through the holes, and then we'll end up with lye water splattered all over us, sort of like cake batter. We can't be having that. And so that's our safety. If you would, turn your ringer off just long enough for us to get this done, because once we get started, we can't stop. And I was wrong on that. That one there is a goat's milk soap. This is how high it is for a double batch, but most of y'all will be doing a single batch, which is half that, in a regular crock pot. But still, you can just really blend well and not worry about damage. All right, now, if we got small children or small dogs in the room where we're making soap, what do?
You don't have.
We don't make soap. Because if we're responsible for small children and we've got lye water floating around, that is an absolute accident waiting to happen. So if you've got small children, I highly recommend you put them to bed and soap at night. That's what I used to do when I had grandbabies living with me. I'd soap at night. I'd be up in the middle of the night going, see, aren't they cute in their little beds asleep? I'd put that on the video, you know. And dogs, just put them in the bathroom or somewhere, because they'll walk around, and if you accidentally splash lye here on the floor, it'll burn the bottom of their feet, and then you can mop when you're done before you let them back in the soapery. But for children, if you don't have somebody watching those children in another room, don't make soap, please. Okay, so now, one of our safety things that I was telling them about is, see these holes here on the side? And these holes here? We never bring this high enough out of the oils for it to, because it would splatter on us.
Right.
And then we do that. And what do we do if we get lye water on us?
Rinse it.
With?
Cold water.
And then?
Vinegar.
That's right, we done
Oh,
taught her
I
that
remembered
way. All right, so the first thing you,
You're okay.
I elbowed you with the stick blender. You get used to your stick blender in regular oil. So you just sit.
Oh, that's
See how? Yes. Oh, yeah. It's just oil right now.
Okay.
Okay. You see, that's what I'm talking to you about, getting
Right.
used to it. We're getting used to what it could do if once we put the lye water in. Now play with it for a moment, and get a feel for what it can do without the lye water in it. Safety first.
better if you just keep it on the bottom?
Well, you have to bring it up to the top to a little bit because there'll be lye water at the top that won't be blended unless you sort of make the top move a little bit. And it's learning how to slowly bring it up without unsubmerging it.
And when you hit it, it brings it
Yeah.
brings it back down.
Yeah, and learning to just pulse and learning the high and the low. So you think you got it?
You think I got it?
I think you got it. Now, another thing you can do is you can also just stir.
Oh, okay.
Like if you see there's some on the top and you're fearful about getting it, you can stir it and then you can just
Right.
and try to get it blended that way.
Right.
All right, and not to freak you out, but we do this fairly quick because of the fact it eventually turns to gel. The more you stick blend it, the thicker it gets.
Okay.
And so, but not to like worry or fret over it, but you'll notice if it starts to get thick on you, that means you've took a little bit too much time. We don't want it to get thick on us because that makes it harder to blend.
Right.
And if you try to blend your oils when they're the wrong temperatures, it can cause it to get thicker quick too. So do you know how I always do mine so I do it right?
How?
I always put this in the refrigerator to get it cold.
Right.
And if you feel of this, you'll feel no heat sting.
No.
Yeah, it's just warm, but it's not,
yeah.
you don't feel that little, ooh, that's hot.
Yeah.
Or not even like, ooh, that just the tiniest of heat stain. It's just warm.
Yeah.
If you let it go past this point though, it begins to go back to a solid state. If it's not clear, don't do it, because if it's not clear, when you put the lye water in there, it won't make soap.
Okay.
So
So I start pulsing slow now?
No, pour in. Okay, now pulse. And just move it around in circles. Okay, and I'm gonna tap. And then I'm gonna pick up and then drop. It's something about the science of water droplets. And now, do you know how to tell if you got lye water on you that you didn't know you did?
No.
All of a sudden it'll just start, you'll have a place on your skin, it'll just start irritating you.
Yeah.
Or like stinging, or like you feel like you need to itch it, but yet it's more like a burn, but it's
Yeah.
not great big, it's just a little burn. That immediately says go wash and put some vinegar because a little speck has hit me.
Look how pink it turned.
Yeah. Now, do you see that little ribbon over in the corner there? Mm-hmm. That see those? That's lye water that hadn't got blended with oils, or it's oil that didn't get blended with lye water. So you always want to make sure you've got an even consistency and no ribbons of oil or lye water. It'll be one of the two.
So does this
Oh,
look
now
better?
it's my phone doing it this time.
Does this look better now?
Yeah, matter of fact, I think that one's finished.
Okay.
All right. I'll let you go the next one.
I don't have to clean my thing?
No, you just tap. I'll show you. What we do is we take it like this, and we'll tap, and then we just plop it into the next one.
Okay.
Not that one. That one goes with this one. And that's a goat's milk soap, so
Oh,
it's on a
okay.
different water ratio. All right. Let me pour without you doing anything.
Yeah.
All right, now. See, it's not that bad.
It's really not.
As long as you got your
just had me
safety.
scared.
Yeah, but I scared you so
For
that
a
you
good
would
reason.
not understand the gravity of what you're doing. If I took this picture and poured it on the top of your head right now, this lye water, as long as you got it off really quick and everything, and it didn't get in your eyes, it's not that big a deal. It's that if you don't get it off, if it stays on you. So when it gets on your arm like that, as long as you just go rinse it off, but it's when people feel that little sting and they just rub it and they go on and they don't think, and then they come back later and then it's stinging worse and they just rub it and they don't think, and then the next thing you know they got these big lye welts. That's where the problem lies, It's in not getting the lye water off of your skin immediately when it happens. Or at least that's my opinion anyway. That's my 2 cents worth. And put your normally we don't have water in our sink, and you've got some soapy water in there, so we wouldn't want to put that down in that soapy water because the residue would make all that into lye water. So I'll just sit them beside the sink, but normally we dump them over in the sink. Now you saw how I poured. Did you see how I poured? All right, just tap, 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 and then put it over, no, the other way.
This way?
Into the goat's one and move your cord. And then that goat's milk lye water is sitting right there waiting on you. And we'll get these out of the way. You can go ahead and stack that one up. Now with this one, we wait 5 minutes and then we add the milk. Okay?
So go ahead and pour.
So now, once you use that, on there, you'll need to go rinse your stick blender because once you've put the milk in it. Now we don't. But once the milk goes in there, then we'd have to rinse our stick blender. Why is that?
So it don't get mixed up.
So that we don't get milk in the other ones because they won't have milk on the ingredients label. And we have to make sure that our ingredients label is truthful. So if we put it down in milk soap and then moved it over into non-milk soap, we'd end up with a problem. Remember the taps. Tap. Alright. And then up like this and then tip. And it'll come out. Up like this. And then tip. And you'll get a little ribbon of lye water come out. Do it up again. And then do it again over the top. And then tap. I usually do it at least 3 to 4 times. Now, and that's because we don't have any goat's milk in there yet, so it don't matter now. Hand me my phone.
Yes, ma'am.
I sort of got it over there in the danger zone. Let me get it out of there.
And do this one the same way?
Do that one the same way.
Any lye?
Any of the lies. I separated the 2 goat's milk lies already. Tap, 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 tap. Up and down. Up and down. Up and down.
So why does it turn it all pink to start with?
It's something about the chemical reaction, and it doesn't always
See, that
do
one
it.
turned it orange, and this one's more pinker than that.
Yeah, it's a chemical reaction, and I think it has everything to do with temperature, but the temperature of that particular lye water with the temperature of that particular oil, because everything's got the same thing in it that we're doing. The same lye water, the same oils, same everything. Okay, now, because you were going slow, because we're learning, I didn't tell you to turn on the crock pot. Now we're going to turn our crock pots all on low. This one here, you have to take the knob off, put it on that one, turn it on. But if you want to, you can go ahead and tap, 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 and get it over there so you got both hands. Because we just have to always be cautious. Always be cautious when we're working with lye. And having both hands free is best. Now, I normally turn it on low the minute I start blending, but it also speeds up the thickening process.
Okay.
So that's why I slowed you down by not turning on the crock pot yet. So to give us a little bit more time with what we were doing. All right. All right.
Oh, this one's getting thick quick.
Yeah. You can feel the difference, can't you? See all those ribbons floating around on there, guys? We got to get them ribbons out of there. Make sure it's well blended. Show you what we do. Hang on just a second. Because you've got to skip over for such a distance. Alright, what we'll do is, we will, oh, you already had one of these. Alright, what we do is we sit, now I've got the, we set this close to that. Set it down in here, and try to get one of these stick blenders that has the little pop-off button.
Right.
Then you can move that easily over to here, and I'll bring y'all guys with us. I'll try anyway. There we go. And then you can re-plug up your stick blender right here, put your pitcher down, and you can just re-pipe.
Okay.
And you're right there ready without making any mess anywhere else.
Right.
With dripping lye water and stuff. And that's the last one right there. And now, I think they're all on low, and they need to have their lids put on them. We should have done that, but you know how it goes when we're teaching, right? Normally, as soon as I turn it on low and get the lye water, I plop the lid on. But it ain't gonna hurt nothing for it to take a minute. Tap, 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 tap. Up, down. Up. There you go. You made you first, didn't pay my attention to both things. You can stop stick blending when you're doing that, so that you don't get eye-hand coordination issues. Give it one more turn up and see what happens. Sit it down there and you'll put your stick blender over in it. Because you gotta move down to the goat milk next. Alright, now, you see, it's pretty decent, but it can drip. You can see it could drip. So, and the thicker you get it, the more it could drip. So safety first. It's your toes and the tops of your feet if you're wearing sandals, which you shouldn't do. You should wear full shoes. Alright, so now I gotta wash this before I can do this one because it's our black African soap.
All right, you want me to put the lids on these others? Kim?
Huh?
You want to put the lids on?
Uh-huh, put your lids on. Make sure they're all on low. I think this one here, you're gonna have, put the knob, change the knob on this one. And, oh, and where you where your stick blender was plugged up, that one will not be plugged up though, because we've got every crock pot we can plugged up. But it's time to do the goat's milk. And so, don't put the goat's milk lid on. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring them over here up close and personal for the goat's milk one. I think that'll be out of your way. So now, we can pop our stick blender on and set it in here. And get us a, oh, there's one. Here's a spoon. Now, same thing. We can't be moving these spoons between goat's milk and non-goat's milk.
Okay.
So if if a spoon is laying in front of this one because it's goat's milk, it's got to always be used for that one. All right. So, so now what we've got is we've got our slushy goat's milk, and it's half the water. And then, sorry, I almost did it, but we've got chunks in here. Let me try doing this the opposite hand so y'all can see better. We pour it into the spoon and let it slide in gently so that we don't splatter up on ourselves. All right. And then I'll lay that spoon back in front of that one because it's our goat's milk. And, oh, I think that's number 14. Oh, these have got a little bit mixed up. I'm gonna have to, we've moved them around. Oh, wait, no, this is our 14 right here.
That orange one goes with the goat's milk.
No, that says 15, and 15's not a goat's milk. And that's 5, so this is 14, not 15.
That one says 14.
That one says 14. Okay, I think I accidentally, I thought this one was the goat's milk because that's the one I told you was the goat's milk, and you put it in. So what we've done is we've switched these around is what we've done. And this one here is not 14. Now this one is 14. And this one is 15. So, and that one's fine. That one's 36 for that one. So that was my fault. Now all I gotta do is blend that in and plug up whatever crock pot it is that's not plugged up right there. Oh, you're standing in front of your camera.
Oh.
You're just blocking everybody. And sometimes when you have the chunks, all right, hang on, turn it off a second. You see that chunk right there? You sit it down on top of your chunk and pulsate, and that breaks your chunks up.
There's a chunk.
Stick blenders are so awesome. All right, so now she's going to continue to blend that goat's milk in. Well, I tell you, and we are going to work on our black African. In color. Isn't that wild? Because it's got palm oil in it, coconut oil, and olive oil. And so now we have a whole different color compared to these. These turned pink and then they went back creamy. You just get you set that back in there. Go get you a pitcher that you can plop that in, and then you can carry it out safely. There you go. Then do the tap real good, and then you can plop it in there and hit the button, and ta-da, totally safe to take to the kitchen. Unplug your stick blender, and there is a crock pot not plugged up wherever that is, because we used every outlet. All right. Are you sure? Count the cords and count the, count your crop.
4, 6, 8, 9. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and you got 9. Okay, we had an outlet that wasn't used. I thought we had every outlet used. All right. And make sure all the crock pots are warm. Take them and feel them with your hands. Okay, and now I'm just going to leave that there.
This one's not.
All right. Turn, put it on, point it towards off. And then turn it on low.
No.
There we go. All right.
This
And
ain't on either.
all right, and so now I'm gonna get rid of your water because we gotta rinse these things, and then now we need to get some spoons laid out for stirring. And so get some of these metal ones.
Okay, here's one for that one. One for that one. Oh, that's
Yeah, we don't use that one except for with the big turkey cooker.
one for that one.
And
That one.
guys, y'all gotta see this. This pine tar stuff. It somehow it does it, and I don't know how it does, but it will get in the crock pot, below the crock pot, and you're thinking, how is this possible? And then it will come out the holes when it gets hot on the bottom, and I don't understand how that happens.
I don't either, but I keep cleaning it.
Yeah, I just keep cleaning that up, and it just keeps doing it. That stuff is insidious. All right, I will lend you to clean up the that, and then everything pretty much will cook for 2 hours, except for the goat's milk. The goat's milk will be different, and this has got holes in it, so we won't use that one, and we'll need to get another one for that one. I ain't never used that one with soap. It's aluminum instead of stainless steel, I think.
Okay.
So, and we're not supposed to use aluminum, and I really believe that's aluminum. It just don't look like the stainless. All right, so now the only thing we got left to do here is we got to get our goat's milk in there when it's been cooking for 5 minutes. Okay, guys, so now our soap has cooked for about 5 minutes. Every once in a while, you'll have one that gets too thick, so you have to watch it. And if your soap starts thickening up, then you'll put your goat's milk in sooner than 5 minutes. But 5 minutes is a pretty good ratio, and I'll put it up there for you.
Okay.
If you want to, you can start putting up all these dishes. And let me. And see the lumps of frozen milk? We got to get all that blended out and get it done. And this soap had just almost got too thick. Last time I got worried it was going to get thick, and I put it in a little bit sooner, but I decided to test it this time. Did y'all see that lump? Henry getting his diaper changed. And I'm right at the sink, so I'm gonna just drop it right into the sink, and we'll put our lid on this and start cooking. All right. Say hello.
Hello.
Who come to see me?
Wesker, Bridget, and Mike.
Wesker's here?
No, I mean Henry, I'm sorry.
Henry, Bridget, and Michael.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wesker's in preschool right now.
Wesker's in preschool.
Yep.
Wesker's growing up on me. All right. You gonna say anything else to YouTube?
Bye.
Ah!
Goes to the child development center.
What you doing, Henry? What you doing? He said, I'm having fun without Wesker. Is Wesker in school?
He wants to go so bad every morning.
He said, if brother's going, I'm going too.
He gets so...
Say hi to you two.
Hello, YouTube.
Did you show them your new phone?
Yeah, see my new phone that Mommy got me for my birthday?
Yes, what kind is it?
It's a Galaxy S3.
Chocolate.
Oh, little bit just opened up the flap and said hi to people that walked by.
Sneaky.
Okay, guys, this is our black African soap, and you can see it's totally separated. And now our lye's dead, and it doesn't do that bad a separation. It's probably the palm oil, and different oils do different when it comes to the separation. So I'll let you hold that, and you can see in the screen whether they can see or not. And so this one don't have to have a lot of blending, but it's just always good to do it. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna get my stick blender out of the way, and I have turned off my crock pot, and this is my shea butter and cocoa butter and all that stuff, and vitamin E and glycerin. Can you just sit it? Oh, Bridget, can you hand me a spatula?
Okay.
There we go. The vitamin E and glycerin's on the bottom.
I was just about to say I was heading out.
Well, hang on a minute before you go. And this is our vitamin E and glycerin, and that vitamin E is full strength at Essential Depot. So you got to really scrape out the bottom of your bowl, because everything in here is supposed to be in this pot. Isn't that right, Bridget?
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
I used to get harassed for not scraping appropriately.
That's correct. Because we figured it, we got to put it in there. And then we have our burnt materials, which on the last video, how to make black African soap, I showed you how to hand burn this. A lot of people has found it places where they can buy it already done, and that is totally cool. But we labeled it for what it was, and now we are just going to blend it in. And ash is really important when it comes to pulling out impurities out of the skin. So that's, you know, and then this is the ash of tropical plants, which is what is used in Africa. And a lot of people say, yeah, but they use this for their lye, to get the lye out of it. And that's true. In the, here in this country, people would take the ashes from their stove, and they would put them in a box, and they would have a grate at the bottom and a thing where the water could come out, and they would pour water at the top of the box where the ashes was. The water would filter through and then pour out, and when the water came out clear, all of the lye had been removed from the ashes. And why ashes has lye in it, I don't know, but it does. I might be a mad scientist, but I don't know everything. And so anyway, so it is true that in Africa, they use the ash, one, to get their lye water. But we don't have to do that because we've got essential depot lye, so we can calculate appropriately and get exactly the amount of lye water we need mixed up because we have a lye calculator. And when you just use bulk water in your soap with a bulk amount of lye in it, you have no idea if you're getting the right amount. So one time your bar of soap might be really hard and the next time it might be really soft. And one time it might be lye heavy and take the hide right off of you, and the next time it might be really weak and be a really great lotion bar. So we don't do that here. Use just lye water of any variety like that. We always measure and get precise measurements of from the soap calculator. It tells us exactly how many lye crystals and exactly how much water we need for our recipe. But what we can do is we can get the other benefit from this ash material. And the other benefit from that is just like activated charcoal is used today. I think in the 1800s, two scientists swallowed activated charcoal, and then they take, at a science conference, they drank a chemical that was deadly, lethal deadly. Everybody knew it would kill them, and they didn't die because they had the activated charcoal in their stomach, and that absorbed the poisons.
And that's what they used to pump your stomach with.
That's what they used to pump your stomach with. That's right. When Bridget swallowed her grandma's seizure medicine, they pumped activated charcoal liquid down in her stomach. So anyway, so activated charcoal has the ability to absorb poisons, but also pull poisons from the skin. So yes, we aren't using this for the lye content that it could produce, but we are using it for the impurity properties that it can produce or pull from the skin. And so far, I've had a lot of people buying this soap with acne, and they say like after 3 days, their acne is already half better, and that their skin is just improving miraculously. But I haven't seen their skin. I only seen it when they bought it, not afterwards, because they just called me. So anyway, so now we're just going to let that sit long enough for all the superfats to melt, and then we can put this right in the molds. Okay guys, this is the other one, but as you can see, it's not quite got out of gel yet. See, it's still got the hard gel going. So we're going to wait just a little bit longer on that goat's milk. It's not quite ready. And this crock pot cooks really slow. Now, this one is ready to stir. See how it's pretty much come out of gel? We need to stir it really good and scrape down the sides, and as I say, stir down in the crevices and really mix her up good. And then these here, they're not quite ready. We could do the tic-tac-toe, and I don't have one of those with me. But this soap, see how it's come out of gel, maybe put a glob in the middle, but it's pretty much out of that hard gel phase. So now it's just going to go into the cooking phase. And this one has still got gel in the middle, and it's getting ready to go out of gel. The heat slowly takes it out of gel. And once that comes out of gel, it's pretty safe to the touch then, because the lye is active in that gel, but the lye is killed out here is pretty much the story as I know it. All right, so now we're chopping up the soap that's still in gel so that it will come out of gel quicker. Okay, and this is what it looks like before she started working on it. Now, another thing you can do, ow, that was hot. That was hot. Let me go get the device I need for this. Hang on. I know there's one around here somewhere. And it's more important in the round crock pots than the oval, but you can do the tic-tac-toe. That's 3 rows this way, 2 rows this way, then pick up the center and dump it out. and then the soap can breathe, and you don't have anything like a cork popping at you, because that's what this will do, is it'll pop at you if you have those little bitty round crock pots you're doing a single batch. The oval ones are not bad at that. It's the round ones that's really bad doing it. It's like a shotgun barrel. Pressure gets built up under them, and then they go pop. But these are not bad to do it. So, and that's good on that one.
Okay.
And then just scrape down these sides good. And then you can go to the next one. All right, so now let's look at our black African soap. And so now you can see where the super fats are still melting. And I have this crock pot turned off because it's goat's milk soap, so I'm just letting it melt slow. And I'm gonna just keep doing that. There we go. And I'll just keep doing that until it's all melted and incorporated. Well, just ask that question again. We got you on camera now. So what'd you just say?
I asked if you wanted to give me a quick history lesson and let me know who invented soap or discovered it or made the mistake and figured it out.
Okay. Well, now this is what I have read. And if it ain't so, I'm sorry. I didn't scope it out and decide for myself, but this is what I read. Okay. Back during the time of a period of time where people would do human or animal sacrifices. Okay, well, what do you need? You need a great big tower or altar, okay? And we're gonna have to be cleaning this mess up. So what else do we need? Running water.
Yeah.
So these altars would always be, or almost always be, close to running water so that they could clean, you know, it was easy to clean up. All right, now that's what I was told. Don't hit the messenger, okay? And so the women would wash clothes in the streams, right? Okay, and so what would happen is that they would kill something, basically, and it would rain, okay? And the fat and the blood and the water would run through the ash where they had been burning, because they had burned sacrifices commonly.
And we just discovered that lye is in ash.
That's right. So the rain would run through the altar and pick up the fat and the blood, which the blood wasn't important, but you know it was going to, because it's much more liquidy than the fat. And it would pick up tidbits of fat and blood, and it would run through the ash and then run into the river. And then as the women were cleaning their clothes, they would find these clumps of stuff, some harder than others, that they could pick up and wash their clothes with, and it would make their clothes get clean.
Right.
And eventually, then the art of soap making was formed when some woman was smart enough to think, how did this happen?
Stuff we're killing.
Yeah, how is this happening? And everything. And so eventually, soap making becomes something they did on the side, and they would take the ash from the altar, and they would run water through it, and they would take the fat from animals, I'm assuming probably even from people, if it was a culture that killed people for sacrifices, and they would make soap out of it, and eventually, of course, in this country, the biggest fat animal that was slaughtered was
The pig.
So lard became very popular with soap. Lard makes a wonderful soap, it just don't lather well.
Right.
Now, you'll see people just freak out over the idea of olive oil soap. Olive oil makes terrible soap because it makes really soft soap.
Right.
But what's the thing that olive oil is the best at? Do you know?
No.
Olive oil is one of the most
Purifying?
moisturizing oils to the skin ever.
Okay.
What's its downfall? It doesn't have good penetration skills. So when you rub olive oil on, it takes a long time for it to soak in. Or it won't soak in at all, it's just eventually it does its own thing.
Wears off.
I don't know, maybe it gets on your clothes. So anyway, so olive oil makes really soft soap. It doesn't saponify well, and when it does saponify, it makes really, really soft soap. And so olive oil is a horrible base oil,
Right.
which is what we have in here now. So I pick oils that make really great soap, as in bubble, hardness, stuff like that. And then I pick my oils for super fats that make really wonderful moisturizing super fats. And olive oil, of course, being one of them because it's the most moisturizing. Matter of fact, I put shea butter, coconut oil, and olive oil, glycerin, and vitamin E in here. And I've had people use my very same recipe, take out the olive oil and put like rice bran oil in there, and hated the soap because it wasn't moisturizing enough.
Right.
Because that olive oil does the trick. So whenever we make soap, I did a video how to make Castile soap, and it was popular as all heck, but that was some of the most horrible soap. It took like 3 months to cure,
Wow.
and then I just gave it away.
After all that time.
I surely wasn't going to sell it because that means I'd have to do that on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And but now if you do an olive oil and coconut oil soap, that's a good soap because your coconut adds your hardness to it and your lather factor.
When I was separating that coconut oil into the 2-pound containers, I really liked the way I felt when I went home.
Oh yes, coconut
I
oil
was
is
so
awesome for the
soft
skin.
and moisturized.
Mm-hmm. Well, and now, do you know what oil it is? What oils are the best for penetrating the skin?
Shea butter,
And its sister,
coconut,
argan.
argan.
Yeah. So if you're ever wanting things to penetrate the skin well, mix it in argan. If you're doing an essential oil blend that's going to be rubbed on the skin for penetration that way, always use argan oil because argan oil is liquid, so that makes it easier to rub on and
Right.
use. And then number 2, it penetrates like crazy. So I always say with shea butter, it seems like the other things you put in the shea butter, it takes it for a ride.
Right.
Because it's going deep. It has the ability to penetrate every layer of the epidermis. And I just think that it takes whatever you mix with it,
Right.
and everything. And we should do an example of that. You just keep stirring. I wonder what she did with the argan oil.
I thought we used all of that.
There it is. Okay, let me turn this so I can see what you can see. I'm gonna take some of this argan oil. I just got a round circle. Now feel my skin.
Oh yeah.
Feel all the way up. Do you feel oil laid on top of my skin much?
No, you just feel moisturized.
Yeah,
and soft.
it just really soaks in. Go get us the olive oil. We'll test it on the other one.
Where is it?
Oh,
I got it. Right.
okay. I was fixing to say, I used it yesterday. No, that's pomace. We want that olive oil that we use for super fatting.
Olive oil.
It's in a square thing.
A square thing. Okay. Oh, okay, I got you.
There we go. And of course this is the very best because you can see it's dark green color. And do the same thing. Get a circle of it. Now feel.
That's a little more oily.
Yeah, and it takes it a lot longer to soak in.
It's really oily.
Yeah, show them your fingers after touching me. See, she looks glossy just after touching me. Olive oil don't have good penetrating skills, but argan does. Feel, look, well, your hands are pointing out that you may not tell.
Yeah, that one feels so
It's
much
gone.
better.
It's just gone. So if you mix the two together, that's heaven, because I think that when you mix them together, the argan causes the olive oil to penetrate faster. Okay, so that's our little oil lesson. And we'll get over here, back over here to our black African. Oh yeah, our super fats are almost melted. And we're just blending, and it looks all glassy and shiny from the super fats. And we just keep blending till we get that opaque look. And we still got just a few little knobs of cocoa butter and shea butter. Now, if you want to know how to make this from scratch, I highly recommend that you get on YouTube and search how to make black African soap and find my video, and you can see how I hand burnt the materials that went into this soap that you just got to see as a powder today. And then you might also find a place online to buy it. Many people didn't want to spend those hours of burn time. I sort of enjoyed it, but in any case, and so they found places they could order it online. But me as a natural soaper, I sort of need to do that myself, because I need to see for sure what's in there and how it's done and guarantee its naturalness. So I'll probably continue to burn.
Well, and it's officially
Burn.
fall, which is fire season.
There
so
you go. Burn, baby, burn.
While you're burning your materials, you can make s'mores.
There you go. I can make s'mores. All right. So we're going to do a little insert on, oh, that one's ready.
Take it off.
Yep. We need a cup of oats, and I don't know if she's got it laid out somewhere. I haven't seen it, but we need a cup of oats, and the oats are ground in that with the blue lid. You're right beside it. There may be a measuring cup in there. All right. This is this one. And I think that's its cord, so we'll unplug that. And it's so weird. This is not separating as badly today, and I wonder if it's the freezing process, freezing the milk, if it sort of causes it to not separate as much, or if it's just today and not tomorrow. But it separated much more on the last batch I made with goat's milk, but this didn't separate much at all.
You ready?
Uh-huh. Just dump the whole thing.
Right?
Yep, just dump the whole cup. Now this is bar number 14. Would you get me another spatula?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And sometimes we use a lot of activated charcoal. And I need 2 molds that don't have activated charcoal residue. Sometimes, oh thank you. Sometimes I'll have activated charcoal residue. And this one here is our 5 kinds of heaven. It's got argan and cocoa butter and shea butter. It doesn't have, and it has honey, oats. It does not have coconut oil in it. See, avocado, cocoa butter, shea butter, argan, I think. It's 5 kinds of oil. 5 kinds of heaven. It's our luxury unscented bar. And you can do this part with a spoon if you wanted to. I'm going to give that to you to throw away. I had a spatula. Oh, there it is. When it gets thick like this, I like to scrape off. And I don't know if you noticed, but we did not use the same stick blender bottom as we used for the Black African, because it has a different recipe. And we cannot blend our recipes because then our ingredients labels are incorrect. So we have to keep our spoons and utensils separated when doing different kinds of base or super fats or like milk or additives. We can't just keep blending, using the same spoon. All right, now we're just gonna put the lid on that, and it's off because I done plugged it, and we're gonna let the super fats melt, and then we will mold that up. Okay, now this should be all melted and ready for incorporation. I'm trying to find a place for the lid. We're working here, trying to do a whole bunch of different things at one time. And so, and I have, yeah, all of the pieces of super fats have melted. And it's true that in Africa, many people are no longer putting the cocoa butter and the shea butter in there because they can't afford it. It's gotten so expensive. And that's true. Over here, if it wasn't okay, now our black African soap is finished. And you will see that it is all melted, no more chunks of super fats. It all has a consistency, no shiny spots that looks like oil that's not been incorporated, going back to more of an opaque look. You can scent this if you want to. I don't scent it. And it is true that in Africa, it was very popular to add cocoa butter and shea butter to this soap, but they stopped doing that because it became such an so expensive to purchase. And as I was saying a minute ago, but my card died. I ran out of room on my memory card. If it wasn't for Essential Depot buying it up in such mass quantity, it would be harder for us to afford it in this country too. But they buy it straight from the Women's Cooperative in Africa, and then they bring it over here in those big shipping containers on the boat, and then it comes through customs, probably up in Canada, but I don't know for sure. It's maybe down there in Florida, off the boat, and then it comes straight to Essential Depot, and then Essential Depot, of course, then sends it out to us. And we're very fortunate to have a company like Essential Depot that buys it in mass quantity like that directly from the source, so that we can afford it. I need one of those TEA spoons. I forgot to get one. And this black African soap turns very ashy in appearance when it cures. And even your fingerprints where you touch it will be on the soap. So touch it on the ends as much as possible. Don't touch the bar as much as you can get away with, because you'll send your fingerprints to your customers.
One of these?
No, one of those spoons like you use to stir your tea, a glass of tea, the long teaspoon.
Oh, okay.
All right. Uh-oh. A piece of yellow soap come off the basket.
One of these.
Yes. And then, let me make sure y'all can see what we're doing. I just do a little flip. It gives the top a pretty one. It's higher here and lower there, so give it a little shake. All right, and there's our black African soap, ready to make people's skin feel awesome. And I'll show you the lather. My sink's fairly clean. It never looks perfect.
You can lather with it as soon as you make it.
Yep. The only reason we cure it is to let some of the water come out of it so it's a harder bar to take a bath with. Isn't that awesome? It's a creamy, awesome lather. And makes lots of bubbles. She's gonna kill me. I just messed up her sink with pieces of soap. I can't catch them. We'll have to let them go to the drain. I'm sorry. All right. So that is our black African soap lather. All right, so now our other soap ought to be ready. That was goat's milk. This is our 5 kinds of heaven. And I'll need another one of them TEA spoons if you don't mind. Oh, thank you. And see the shininess? Mm-hmm. We've got to stir it until all the honey and the super fats and all that kind of stuff is fully incorporated. And that right there, those dark orangey streaks, is that. Let me see if I've... There, y'all can see. I don't know if y'all can see the glossiness right here. And all these other soaps need stirring. Let me show people just for a second if I can. See, it's got the butt. Some of them make prettier butts than others. That one over there. Woo, look at the butt on that one. Anyway, and so when they get like that, that's when we stir them because they're just almost done. Now we got this thing back where we wanted it. And so, and we scrape down the sides good. You can use one of those metal spatulas if you need to, if the spoon won't get it good. When you're working with those little round crock pots that we've got on the bottom, those things have to have it on. Yeah, those work really good. So she can scrape real good. That's a stainless steel cake icing spatula.
AKA soap scraper.
AKA soap scraper. Alright. Now we've come back to a even consistency. Nope, there was some more honey over in that corner hiding. You always have to make sure about that honey. It's slower about emulsifying in with the other stuff.
Oh, that's
Okay, so now this is an unscented soap as well, so I don't have to cool it to 160.
Why does it turn white on the sides?
Huh?
Why does it turn white?
It's got less water. It's starting to dry out. And right there is where you'll break them knobs off your crock pot. because of the wire basket will catch them and it'll come down full tilt on your knob and cha-kung, it'll break. So I'm trying to be careful with my knobs now and not let them get broken. Because it just happened and you're like, oh darn. But you know, it takes you a while to remember. And I'd say, oh darn. And goat's milk soap is predominantly more moist, like this is, and soft. But it hardens up. And also it's cooler. I mean, it's hotter because you didn't cool it down to 160. So that makes it more fluid and hot. All right. All right, stir away. And you see how frothy it sounds? It sounds real frothy. And this is what it looks like. You have already stirred this one and it's already got to a butt texture all over again. Yep. See its butt?
Didn't take long.
Didn't take long. And it's starting to get to that glassy look or Vaseline look. Where, see, this one here has not. And so this one here is almost done because it's getting that glassy look. Okay, so now we're putting in our super fats. Now, you see how this one doesn't have any colorant in it?
Yes.
So what I do is I get me a spoon with a spatula, and like this one you can tell it's got colorant in it. This one don't. So the first thing I do is I take the lids off of everything that don't have colorant on it. Leave the lids on for the ones that do so you don't mess up. Don't ask me why that. Oh, you probably just flipped it off.
Okay.
All right. Now, I want you to go turn all the crock pots off. Oh, I know. I got a burnt this time. I hit it just in the wrong spot. All right, turn all the crock pots off.
Okay.
And I started doing this. I found it just works better. Okay. Now, because this has no colorant in it, you can use the same spatula and the same spoon.
On the three with no
On the three with no color. And then the ones with color, you got to use a different
Separate one for
spoon and
each
a different spatula with each one. So what we want to do is we want to scrape all of the funk out of the bowl. Scrape it down really good because the vitamin E is thick and tiny because it's so full strength. You don't have to use much. All right, and now you'll stir that up and you'll put your spoon in the sink and then just take your spatula down to the next one with the lid and just plop it on there.
Okay.
And I know I didn't have the camera turned right. And so now what she's going to do is she's going to stir in all of the super fats real well. But sometimes, you know, there's pieces in there that's got to melt.
Yeah.
So what you've done right there is all we do right now. Then just
it?
knock off your spoon real good, scrape down the edges, put the lid on, and then we let it sit and melt.
Okay.
And so now what you'll do is you will put the non-ones in and then get a spoon and a spatula for each ones that don't.
Okay.
Try not to stand directly in front of your camera. Give them the cold shoulder. And I'll turn this so you can see what they're seeing and you can see the little record button. And then when you get done, you just go over here and hit the off button and make sure it don't say record right there, and I'll go deal with that nice customer.
Okay.
How much? One or two? Ooh. I had to grind this. I had to purchase it in the leaf. So, I really got a great grind. I wasn't scared. as much as you normally get, would you let me know? Because that's the same stuff. I just found it myself, but maybe it's more dense or something. I don't know. So, we'll talk about that. See, it's 15 normally, and you get that for 14 when you get the videos and stuff. That's what I thought too. 15 pieces. But it normally have to sit and tap to get it out of the jar, and it just won't light it. So after it settles, that's probably what it looks like.
Oh, this one smells like cinnamon.
It's got cinnamon in it.
Smells good enough to eat.
Try by it.
No better not. It's a little hot right now.
All right. Now, I intend just one more minute, and then I want to talk to you about this. How's that rolling?
I'm on my first one with color.
Yeah. Let's get it up here where they can see it for a minute. And that is cinnamon that we're coloring with.
Smells
With
so
hot
good.
process soap, you can use cinnamon and spices because the only thing that's going to affect it is the heat, but the lye is dead, so the lye can't eat the cinnamon. All right, so now she's going to finish doing all these, but in hopes of not having our video take more than 2 hours, I'm going to turn it off and let her finish that off camera. Sorry guys, I'm trying to get this into 2 hours. I may not make it. I never make it, but I do try. Now, we'll put the lid on that, and then we'll come back and stir it again though, after the
I can
super.
leave this spoon.
Yeah, and yeah, you want to leave the colored spoon with each one that's colored. All right. Okay, so this is our bar number 4, and getting a spatula. And they've gotten down just a little bit below 160 because we were dealing with customers today. And so some of them, we've turned the crock pots back on low to heat them up just a little bit, and that's the trick. If they get too cold, just turn them back on. And now we'll stir them. All right, if you'll stir this one right here, I'll stir this one, and we'll get them done faster.
Okay. Let me turn this one back on real quick. Okay. So
You can stand. Oh, yep. Hang up. Got to reposition the camera. And see how shiny it is? We want to keep stirring until it becomes opaque.
And what is in this?
This is the cinnamon and clove. Well, it's clove leaf and clove bud and cinnamon. Essential oil.
You can definitely smell the clove.
Mm-hmm. And this one's good for warts. And I know a lot of people fuss at me about this stuff, but if you just talk about the actual essential oil, you don't have to talk about my soap. The natural pathic doctor says cinnamon and clove irritates the wart virus and makes it give up the ghost.
Okay. We have some little ones that have warts. Is it safe for little ones?
It's it's not a non-tearing formula, so if you use it on a small child, it can burn their eyes.
But it's okay to use on their body.
Yeah,
Just keep
it's
it on their
natural
eyes.
soap, no chemicals with the food grade lye. Don't use that. And the cinnamon is like just one tablespoon per this big old batch, because cinnamon can be aggressive
And
with
it
the
smelled
skin.
so good.
Yeah.
So all my shinies gone?
You swirled around, got up in the crevices, and did the rollover thing like that right there.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Are we putting it in here?
Yeah, not yet.
Okay.
We got to get a layer of this white in there first.
Oh, we're making multi-layer. It's gonna be so pretty.
Yeah, and what we do is we have to like balance them out so that the same amount roughly is in each one.
Right.
And that's another reason we need it at around 160 and not less, because we're going to try to blend these soaps. All right, take and, yeah, harder. There we go. And then do the next one, but watch my knob.
And that's how you lost one.
That's how I lost my knob.
And that's to make it level and get all the air bubbles out?
Yeah, and now let me take that one. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I love these baskets from Essential Depot. You can just move these old molds around like crazy. Nobody's business. Okay, now you look at them. Does one look like it has less in it than the others?
This one.
All right. All right, so now I put those. Okay, now we'll do the next one.
Okay.
And what we do is plop, 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 and then the next one, plop, plop, plop.
And then we bang them?
Yeah. And then that was a semi-plop, so we gotta get a little extra in there. I got my plops out of order there. I had a big plop. Oh, that was a little plop.
This one needs some on this end, and this one needs some like right through there.
Alright. First though, we gotta see how they balance
Yeah.
out amongst each other.
Okay, I'll trade with you.
Alright.
You ready?
Almost. Alright.
You can see right through there it's a little low on that side, and on this side it's a little low. Or that side, see?
Mm-hmm. But when we take the spoon to it, we'll fix that. We're talking about when it comes to the fill line.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. So we're gonna swirl it and mix. Oh! We're gonna make it even prettier.
That's right. We're gonna make it even prettier. Alright, so now when you see the four of them together,
That one's a little low.
that one there can use a touch, another ploppish. And I think,
And this one on that end.
yeah. And then we'll just take,
And this one needs a little.
and we'll just scrape out the bottom and sort of, oh,
That's hot, Kim.
I know, I keep doing that. I've already got one burned. Look at my burn. I got a burn.
That's the most fun part.
I know. I'm gonna steal these two from you,
Okay.
and let you take those two, and you can bang them, and then I'll do my swirling thing. Look.
That is cute. It's making it striped.
Yep.
Is that how you swirl them all?
Most of them. Some of them get more swirlies than others.
Right.
All right. And then
Bang it.
I bang it lightly. And sometimes, like it's a little taller here, I just sort of shift. You can set that one over there on the table. You want to clean your spoon. That works out better, by the way, if you clean your spoon.
Who taught you this method?
I taught it to myself.
Trial and error.
Yep. I said one day I thought, look at that long TEA spoon. I could reach all the way down the
Do
bottom.
you not
And I
ever
s-
get a butter knife like you do with a cake and like run it like this?
I've done a fork.
You know how you marble a cake with it?
Yeah, and I've tried a fork. I've used that to put stripes. I've used it, that metal cake icing thing that you saw. I've used it in those big old long molds. And now, wait, gotta take it, tap it once. There we go, that one's ready.
I really like the one you had up there that had squares, like a blue square here and up here, and then two white ones.
Oh, go stir our body butter. See if it's all melted, turn the oven off and set it off the eye. There's another one done. Woohoo! It's consistencies make it natural. When you stack them up, put these 4s on, put one on top of each other. There you go. And then lay one of these pieces of paper that says 4 on top of them. Okay. All right. Now, oh, that's, I wonder what this, oh, this is number 7. Number 7 is fine. Let's see what y'all can see here. There we go. Get this down. I need 2 molds. Please. And now we will pour our essential oils in first. And this is patchouli, gingergrass, and peppermint. Patchouli, very strong. To get any effect from patchouli, and even for the smell to be nice, you have to really put a lot in. Patchouli is like lavender. Lavender, you got to put a bunch of lavender in your soap for it to really smell nice like lavender. It smells awesome out of the bottle, but in the soap, it's a weaker counterpart to other essential oils. And when I was making just patchouli soap, only my patchouli lovers would buy it. And they're just here and there, you know, really.
I love patchouli.
Yeah. Would you get me 2 molds?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And so, with it being the case, I didn't sell a lot of it. And I needed to sell a lot of each kind of soap I had. So when I put the gingergrass in with the patchouli, then everybody loved it. The patchouli people loved it, and then normal everyday people liked it. And when I spiked it with just a touch of peppermint, that did the trick. Then it became one of my most popular soaps. But it has a lot of patchouli in it. I make very little money out of this particular bar. All right, now we need our colorants. And we will take and level this out. We're doing a pot swirl. You're not going to want to miss this.
Okay.
And we're doing activated charcoal over in that corner. We're doing alkanet root in this corner. We're doing paprika in this corner. And we're doing turmeric in this corner. And then we're going to take and go swish. See the tie-dye thing going? Mm-hmm. And the most important thing is to not get burnt, but to pull, I know, it's like me and these crock pots today, is to make sure you get down in the crevices.
Right.
All right, so now you have all these swirls of colors in the soap, and it comes out with a really nice, as close as I could do with a tie-dye in soap. But the true secret is to get down in the crevices, because I wouldn't stir enough down the bottom, and then I'd come out with uncolored soap. Now we bang, 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 bang. Get our TA spoon. And I think that this one here has got a little fuller than that one. All right. Do a little swirl. Level it out. And there we go, bar number 7. And we put those, stack them up together, put a 7 on top of it for a cheat, and there you go. Okay, we'll get y'all a little closer. I have put 2 tablespoons of rosemary in here, which gives you a light green with specks, black specks. And now we're putting in our frankincense and myrtle essential oil. And I wanted to do frankincense and myrrh, but Essential Depot, all they bought was that 3% dilution, and that's of no use to anybody when it comes to soap making and scenting anything. And so I'm sure it's very great for aromatherapy purposes and possibly for lotion, but for soap, you know, it's just too diluted for you to be able to obtain any scent, you know. So, and we need to smell stuff. And so anyway, so, and the reason they only did the 3% is because it's so gosh darn expensive. But still, it would have been nice if they'd have gave us 10%. That would have been nice. I don't know, 3%, is that really enough? I don't know. I've never bought any diluted stuff before, like where something was like sandalwood diluted in something else. But in any case, 3% just didn't impress me. I'm bad. I thought 3%, that seems so tiny. But gosh, that stuff's so expensive, I guess you can't afford to get more than 3%. So anyway, back to the subject at hand. So I heard that myrtle had most of the same properties as myrrh. So I said, well, I can afford myrtle, so we'll try. And so far, it's been a big hit. So now we're going to sprinkle some activated charcoal over the top, and basically it ends up being a light green with black swirls of activated charcoal. Of course, black activated charcoal is great for pulling impurities out of the skin, and you'll see I'm digging deep down in the corners, making sure that this is getting well blended. And because it's not been diluted wet into anything, it stays in a powder form mixed amongst the soap, unless I suppose you stirred it a whole lot. But we ain't gonna stir it a whole lot because we want it to just be sort of like a pot swirl. But we do have a base color, which is the green from the rosemary. So this is my frankincense and myrtle. Yeah, and I'm done. I don't think I got any more charcoal to use, so that can go bye-bye. There are lids around here somewhere for it. And
I hate
that stuff's insidious, but good for the skin. All right. Let's see if y'all can still see. My battery says it's going to die soon. And so I got to get it on the charger. Y'all may not get to see the next soaps because this battery is dying.
have the hardest time with those batteries.
I know, I just got one, and I got it, I'm always having to charge, I'll plug it up in between clips and whatnot. Okay, there we go. That is bar number 36. All ready to rumble. All right, I charged up the battery a little bit. I hope it lasts this last little bit. This is bar number 5. I got it cool enough. I had to turn these Crocs back on and then cool them back down because we got a little cold dealing with some customers. And we had to take care of customers. But it's easy, just turn them back on and warm them back up. And bar number 5 is our Spirit Lifter soap. I read this article one time this lady did about the FDA, and for some reason the FDA doesn't mind the word spirit lifting, she says. I don't know.
They don't like it or they don't mind it?
They don't mind it, she says. Yeah, we're always as soapers contending with the FDA. Now, this is a little story, and if I get it inaccurately spoken, please forgive me, but this is my synopsis of the whole thing. Maybe the camera won't die while I'm talking and leave you halfway in and halfway out of this conversation. But when herbs first hit the market, the FDA was having an absolute raring fit. Because people was saying that these herbs was beneficial to the body. And so, of course, the big herb companies got into herbs, and they got out there and they fought for legislation, and they changed the rules. And the basic principle was, if the peanut butter company can tell you that eating protein, peanut butter protein, is good for your body and what it will do for you, then why can you taking a pill by mouth of some kind of herb that has health benefits to your body nutritiously in some fashion or another, why can you not say this? And the FDA fought hard and long, I guess, I don't know, but eventually they changed the laws. And so if you talk about, and this is how the essential oil companies that are participating in the essential oils taken by mouth, and I'm getting these big whiter chunks out of here. The essential oil companies that's participating, like doTERRA and True Living, in telling the health benefits of essential oils when you take them orally, but now they go one better. They also tell the health benefits of essential oils through absorption of the skin, which us soapers do from time to time. And I know there's lots of fussing about that particular thing in the soaping industry. But in any case, so this law got changed that if you took it by mouth, then you could discuss its health benefits to the body. So that's how come herbs in pill form or capsule form or whatever, when they sell them in the stores, that's why they are able to say that it will help you with blah, 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 whatever it is. So like if you take cinnamon, it's good for your blood pressure, it's good for diabetes, blah, blah, blah. And they can do that because of these new laws. Well, it was new at the time, because of the new law that the FDA created, or somebody did it and the FDA obeyed it, that said that you could say these things about something you took by mouth. And so my hope and dream is that the FDA, now that essential oils have hit the market and flooding the market, not just hitting it, but flooding the market now with the doTERRA and the True Living craze, that the FDA will make new policies as to what you can say about a product that has essential oils in it. That you use on the skin, of course, because they can already say it if you put the essential oils in your mouth. And that's how what laws they're using is the law that was created for the herbs. If you put it in your mouth, then you can talk about its health benefits to the body. Because it's nutritional, it's plant material, food material in a way. All these things are edible, these herbs, and you're putting them in your mouth. So my hope and dream is that with these essential oil companies, doTERRA, True Living, getting involved with the essential oil movement, that they will also start, hang on to your ears, wanting to put their essential oils in skincare products and tell the health benefits to the skin when they're used. And if that happens, then they will start fighting the FDA for new laws regarding essential oils in skincare products. This is my dream. And you may know that if you're putting tea tree in something that's going to be used on a horse or a dog, the FDA does not regulate it. And so I've seen people who were selling products that was truly intended for human use, and they were labeled horse medicine online so that they could say the benefits. And another person says, well, how come essential oil companies can say the benefits of their product? Well, according to the EPA, this is what EPA man told me, that when you are selling an ingredient, you have to have the ability to tell someone what benefit that ingredient has, because it's an ingredient, it's not a finished product. And then the finished product, so like when you go on the website and you're going to make a soap for, you're going to make a product for acne, let's say. We won't even get into soaps. We'll say a cream or something. You have to know the health benefit of that essential oil or ingredient. So therefore, at this current time, it is legal for them to put on the website, because they're not selling a finished product, essential oil, they're selling an ingredient. So therefore, they must be able to tell the health benefit or the benefits of their ingredient, so that when company comes to buy their product, to put their ingredient, to put it in another product, they will know what that ingredient will do for the finished product. Once the finished product becomes a finished product, then it is limited by FDA policy as to what you can say about that finished product. So I hope that was beneficial to y'all. But that's just some thoughts for the day on essential oils legislation that I'm hoping comes into effect for essential oils and essential oil users in skincare products. Like right now, you can buy tea tree shampoo, and on the the website where I just ordered products for my store, I decided to buy some natural shampoos, and it says natural shampoo with tea tree for dry, flaky scalp. And that's a cosmetic claim, so they can get away with it. A dry, flaky scalp is a cosmetic claim, so they can say that. So the difference between cosmetic claims and drug claims is a very thin line. I hope that was beneficial and not more confusing than you already were. Look at our battery's gonna last. Ta-da! 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 I'm so excited all that soap is made. Can you tell I'm very excited that all that soap is made? It's done. Woohoo! Let me set it over here. Or with the camera flippy flopping around. I don't know how y'all survive me. I really don't. So, there's our soap that we made today. 2 deep in those awesome Essential Depot molds. But the problem is we've got 4 more crocks set up for tomorrow. But at least I don't have them all set up, right? But I was out of essential oils. I didn't have any. So I couldn't make nothing. All right. Thank you so much for watching today. And I bet you all this goes into over 2 hours. Maybe a part 1 and part 2. But in any case, hopefully I will be able to get a cut video on the end of this video. So, see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Okay, everybody, we did this great big long video on how to make the soap, but I only got like 6 minutes left and to keep it under 2 hours. So we're not doing a cut video. We're doing a show video. And so this is our cinnamon. This is the cinnamon that we colored with the non-colored soap. This is bar number 4. And the Essential Depot cutter, every bar is cut perfect every time. And this is the bar number 15, Soothing and Calming. And this color is strictly from the oats and the honey. So different kinds of honey colors will, you know, the color of your honey will affect this. And, oh, this one's fun. This one's fun. This is our tie-dye, bar number 7. Woohoo! Typical bar. And this one here is our 14 kinds of heaven, and now we've switched over from coconut milk to goat's milk. So this will go on the website soon, and it'll say goat's milk instead of coconut milk. And this is our rosemary, colored with the activated charcoal swirl. This is our frankincense and myrtle. And oh, our black African. And honest to Pete, every place you touch this thing, this bar turns very ashy. And you get fingerprints like major, and everybody that's using this is freaking out on how awesome it is. And this is examples of the bar number 5. And this is alkanet root. No, not alkanet, annatto seed. And that's it. Oh, and just an update on my soap that I did for charity. It's still soft right here in the middle, but it's hardening up around the edges. It's probably going to take 4 to 6 weeks. And I thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for liking my videos. You probably know why I need that help right now big time. And thank you so much for leaving comments. And if you would like to find free recipes for what we put in the crock pot, for the recipes for the soap and the super fats and everything, plus videos that tells like how much essential oils and things I put in certain ones, go to www.kimberlymacnutt.com. KIMBERLYMCNUTT.com. And also my link for Essential Depot is there. I hope I shared with you information and training that was worthy of asking you to use my Essential Depot link. When you might purchase something from them, and you can find that on the KimberlyMacnutt.com website. If you would like to purchase some of the soaps that I cooked, you can go to www.essential-soaps.com. www.essential- like a phone number dash soaps.com. All right, let's get soaping, everybody. Bye.